Home canned foods, whether they need reheating, botulism, siphoning, unsealed jars, storage. I'm Kirsty, this is Heart's Humble Homestead. Hope you enjoyed the video. Does home canned food need reheating? If the item is a high acid food, such as jams, jellies or fruits, you can eat them straight out of the jar. If it is a low acid food, such as meats or vegetables, they need reheating to make them safe for consumption. The recommendation for reheating the food thoroughly can vary between 5 and 15 minutes depending on the country you're in, but the average is about 10 minutes. So I have a book, Canning and Preserving book from 1947 that says to boil thoroughly for 10 to 15 minutes. The CDC says 10 minutes and many other countries have the 10-minute mark too. This is because that even though the bacteria that causes botulism is killed by boiling temperatures, its spores aren't. So it's essential to reheat your food thoroughly at 85 degrees centigrade, and that's 185 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes to ensure the food is safe to eat. Try to think of low acid canned foods as an extension of your freezer rather than an extension of your pantry. So tinned food, canned food that you get from shops are generally safe to be eaten without preheating. Canned foods are like foods that you've had in the freezer, leftovers that you put in the freezer. They need cooking thoroughly before consumption to make sure that they are safe. If you take proper precautions such as cleanliness and reheating low acid foods, preserving your own food is generally low risk. I will tag a video above, I'll put it there and in the description. Blue Self-Reliance has done an amazing video on botulism and how many cases we've had here in the UK since the 1920s and the reason people are scared of it. Siphoning. This is where liquid leaks out of your jars during processing. It can be caused by not debubbling the jars, over or underfilled jars, and temperature change. To reduce this from happening, ensure that your jars are filled to the correct height. This can be between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. Also ensure that you debubble the jars before processing and leave the jars in the canner for 10 minutes after it's finished the time, and then that will just help with the shock of the temperature change. If you haven't lost more than 1/3 of your products during the siphoning and it's sealed properly, it's fine to go on the shelf with the others. Just keep an eye on it because it could have created a false seal, and make sure you give it a wash to prevent any mould forming on the outside of the jar. Jars not sealing after processing. This can be caused by numerous reasons, such as a misaligned lid, a damaged lid, a chipped or damaged jar. If the jar hasn't sealed, you can reprocess it for the same length of time that you water bathed or pressure canned beforehand, or pop it in the fridge and use it within a few days. If your jars haven't sealed for a second time, pop in the fridge and use within a few days, or put in the freezer for future use. Storage. Your home canned foods can be stored in a cool, dark place for up to a year, without the rings if you're using a 2-part lid. This is to ensure that any false seals are easily recognisable. False seals can take days, weeks or even months to be noticeable. Storing them without the rings on can make it more recognisable. If you keep the rings on, it can keep the false seal in place and you won't notice it until you're ready to eat the food. I have linked my sources from the video below. Please have a look at them before you decide whether the canning is right for you, and please do your own research too. I've also included a link on the history of canning if you're interested in things like that. If you decide that canning isn't right for you, there are many other methods of preserving that you can try, such as pickling, freezing, dehydrating, fermenting and even freeze drying. I've got many of them methods I will link at the end of the video in my preserving playlist. Apart from freeze drying. Freeze dryers are so expensive here in the UK, so it's not something I've got or something I will get anytime soon. I hope you've enjoyed this video, everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye.